coming right there.
All right, hey, it's time for that old battle again between 9mm and 45. We're gonna see who the king is, but before we do, we're gonna give a big shout out to this week's sponsor. All right, hey guys, this week's video is brought to you by XS Sights, the fastest sights in any light. Now, if you run low power variable optics, you know you can't use regular flip up backup iron sights. You've got to run 45-degree offsets. Right now on this is my 12.5-inch 308. I'm running the XD12. It's 45-degree offset, and it's got the big bright orange dot with tritium insert that I'm used to from all my other guns, my pistols and everything. All right, now if you're running a red dot or a EOTech, something like that, and you want regular flip ups, this flip up iron sight right here, it's got the tritium right on the front of it. So, I mean, literally you can see your backups now you can see in the dark. Totally badass, guys. American made, Texas proud, and 2A strong. XS Sights. Check it out at xssights.com. All right, so the old argument, which is better, 45 versus 9mm, a lot of guys will say the FUDs love the 45, and the guys that can't hit anything, they want 9mm, so they've got tons of ammo. There's a little more to it than that, there really is. Now, we've got a separate video, 9mm versus 45, you can find it in our video archive. And that was kind of a battle between Pete Jones, who carried a 45 with his EDC ammo, and me with my 9mm with my EDC ammo. But people complained, we're using different kinds of ammo, we're using different kinds of guns. Okay, so I read your comments, I do, you know I do. So we are gonna run Glocks with the same kind of ammo. We're gonna take all that out. Now, I got other guys that be like, Carl, why aren't you shooting torsos made out of grapes and spare ribs and stuff like that to represent the human body? And Carl, you're supposed to be modern now. Why aren't you using the zombie torsos that have got ribs and fake blood inside of them? The reality is we want to have consistent results, and that's why we use ballistic gel blocks. Now, the FBI ballistic gel, the old gelatin blocks that the FBI started using back in the 70s, you had to mix that stuff up. It's actually edible, but it was only good for a day, day and a half. Fast forward, what we're using is what's called, it's made by Clear Ballistics. It's actually polymer. Now, the people that complain that you get different results than you do FBI gel, okay, slightly different, yes, but I guarantee you, if these blocks were around back in the 70s, the FBI guys would not have been mixing up edible gelatin, all right? So why use a gel block over a gel torso that's got plastic ribs and fake blood and everything? Because, again, we're trying to give you consistent results. The reality is, if I had a fake torso with fake ribs, or if I had a real human cadaver, or a death row inmate for that matter, understand if that bullet was half an inch high or low, you would not be getting consistent results. One bullet would pass between the ribs and you'd get your secondary cavitation inside that open wound lung cavity. The next bullet might hit a half an inch high, catch a rib, shatter that rib, and then expand inside those lungs. A round that hits below the diaphragm, hitting a solid organ such as your liver or your spleen, is going to give you a different result than one that hits a hollow organ, and that in turn is going to give you a different result if you hit a bone. So by using ballistic gel blocks, it's allowing me to show you consistent results for every bullet. So again, big shout out for Clear Ballistics. All right, so what we're going to start off with is, yeah, I've got good critical duty made by Hornady. But before we do that, why does the military run ball? Well, Geneva Convention, all that stuff, but ball consistently gets through barriers, things like that. And so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna hit this thing with ball ammo. Let's start with a 9mm. 124 grain military ball through a full-size Glock 17. .124 grain ball, we knew what it was gonna do. it just literally, it just over penetrates. It wouldn't matter if we were running 115, 124, ball ammo going that fast, it just burns right through this block just like it does a human being. So let's hit it with the 45. 230 grain ball 45 ACP through a Glock 21 full-size pistol. All right, that was 230 grain ball through a 45, and I hate to bust everybody's bubble, but it still over penetrates. It does. Now, one thing it does do is because it's a larger diameter projectile, you do get a little larger wound track. You do, but you don't get an insanely larger wound track. You're pushing a golf ball through the guy. It's gonna hurt him, but it still comes down to shot placement. Now, why am I making a big deal out of that? Because everybody says it's giving you much more massive energy being delivered to the target. Now, a good example of that secondary cavitation, all that energy, is we have another video that compares pistol to rifle. Now, even though the pistol is a larger diameter than the .223 rifle was, you're getting all that secondary cavitation because that rifle round's traveling 3,000 rounds per second, 3,000 feet per second, right? You don't have that with these 45 ball. It is literally under 1,000 feet per second. Your 9mm a little over 1,000 feet per second, but they're nowhere near rifle speeds. So, all right, now, the added benefit, though, so that's the reason why we don't carry ball for home defense, right, or EDC, self-defense. So what do we carry? Hollow points, hollow points, hollow points. Now, there are lots of hollow points out there. There are lots of great brands. I personally carry G9. Barnes makes great stuff. Hornady Defense makes great stuff. The Golden Sabers, Black Talons, Hydra Shocks. There's an unlimited number of great hollow point rounds out there. So to make our test consistent, I went not with an exotic one that I carry, but let's go with one that's very common on the self-defense world, and that is the Hornady Critical Duty, which is what my law enforcement guys carry. It's very, very similar to the Hornady Critical Defense. So we're gonna start off 9mm Hornady Critical Duty. All right, so this is Hornady Critical Duty. It's in 9mm. It's got 135 grain flex lock. It's running 1,110 feet per second through this Glock 17. Single shot. All right, now the cool part about Hornady Critical Duty is it expands. Matter of fact, it's got the little rubber insert in it so that it won't fill up with like clothing or drywall, stuff like that. It goes in, it does expand. Now, you look at the secondary cavitation right here. You watch the block in the slow-mo, it jumps more than it does the ball, but notice I don't have a projectile in here. All right, this stuff still hauling ass. It over penetrates. It does. It over penetrates. It completely expanded. Now that expanded round in 9mm is larger than 45 ball. It's got enough energy that it still had enough energy to penetrate this block. All right, hit it hard. You saw it on the slow-mo. It hit it hard. Let's hit it the same kind of ammo, but 45. Hornady Critical Duty and 45, it's a 220 grain flex lock running at 990 feet per second through this Glock 21. Single shot. Hornady Critical Duty through a 45, 220 grain flex lock. Now, you saw the slow-mo, it made this block jump a lot more. But if you look at just the secondary cavitation, just where it permanently stretched out this block. Now notice we did catch our projectile. Why? Well, because instead of you pushing that golf ball through the guy at 900 feet per second, right, this thing has expanded even larger than the ball round, and it's delivering all that energy right here. And yeah, the reality is, like it or not, the gel blocks don't lie. Now, does it deliver as much energy as a rifle round. No, it does not. Never will. Right? But the argument that a 9mm with good hollow points is as good as a 45, yes, it's as good as a 45 ball round. But you go same type ammo, 45's just knocking the snot out of somebody. It really is. Now, how about the other end of the argument here? The other end of the argument is, well, shot placement, shot placement. You can carry more rounds with a 9mm. I got that. You can also shoot a 9mm a lot faster. Recoil, things like that. So what do you say we hit this thing with a burst, right? We'll get off a few rounds with this thing, and we'll see if we can get a little more effect with our round. All right, we're back to the 9mm Hornady critical duty. I'm gonna hit this thing with 5 rounds real quick. All right, that was a Hornady critical duty, 5 rounds. The spread for that 5 rounds was 1.02 seconds. Now, it's 9mm. It's hot 9mm, but it's still just 9mm. Full-size pistol. Recoil's not bad. It allows me to get follow-up shots on target. Now, that's a lot more tissue damage than just a single 45 round. What do you say we try it with the 45? 45 caliber Hornady critical duty. We're gonna do 5 rounds on our block here. 220 grain flex lock, 990 feet per second. All right, so that was the 45 Hornady critical duty 5 round burst. All right, now, I had a pregnant pause in there. It's 1.44 seconds, but I had that pregnant pause after the 3rd round because my block literally started turning sideways. I had to reacquire the sights. Little more perceived recoil in the pistol, but it's only 0.4 of a second slower than the 9mm, and that's without my pause to reacquire it. So as far as speed, just not a lot of difference now, but you could see how much more effect it was having on this. So, all right, let's wrap this up. All right, so 9mm versus 45, which one is better? I don't know, you know, 45, you're getting more effect. You are, you're getting more terminal ballistics inside of the target. Now, there are advantages in 9mm. Ammo's lighter, you can carry more of it. Micro-sized subcompact 9mm are much smaller than your micro-sized subcompact 45s. There's reality to that, there is. So, I don't know, I guess we didn't really solve the debate today. But my EDC is still 9mm, but blocks don't lie. I hope you all got something out of it. You make your own decision, and that's what this is for. All right, you guys know the deal. I read all your comments, leave them below in the comment section. And be sure to share this video with your friends. It's great for starting good arguments with them. Y'all take care and shoot straight. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.